It's the big one. It's Grimsby Town as they head towards the league leaders. We go to Walsall on Saturday's early lunchtime game. There's 2 lunchtime games in League 2 and we're involved in one of them. And, well, what can I say? This is going to be well, I'll be honest with you, the next 2 games are going to be probably Town's playoff credentials, I would say, because after Tuesday's game, we will be on the running. So, but this game against Walsall, it's a game that I'm intrigued to see how Town do. It does seem like in the pre-match press conference that Artel held on Thursday, it does seem as though Doug Thram will be out. Apparently he had a scan, and as of the pre-match press conference, they weren't aware of what's happened, but it doesn't look good. He may not be involved on Saturday. I don't expect to see Doug on Saturday. It might be Terrell Warren that goes in. We'll see. Artel, though, was very, very upbeat and very as upbeat as Artel normally is. I'd say very content and very... I won't say satisfied because I'm sure he wants more. He was asked about Cam Gardner. Apparently Cam is 4 or 5 weeks away from a possible return. I think that's more like 7 weeks. I always say that because you always add that little bit more on, especially with the injury that Cam received. It's looking good though in general. Looks like no other real major injury concerns for David Artel and the boys. Like I said, only that disappointment more likely about Doug. And so what we can do now is we can go on talking more about the game coming up all in all. Now obviously it kicks off at 12:30. The last figure I noticed, we've got about 753 Mariners fans who will be making the trip up to Walsall for this lunchtime kickoff. Obviously, Walsall are lying in first place. Grimsby are in 8th, just outside the playoff places. Now, on 53 points for Grimsby, 68 points for Walsall. That's 15 points between the two sides. This season, Walsall have scored 64 goals this term. Grimsby have scored 48 goals this season. So, quite a disparity there between the two sides as well. But Walsall's goal scoring has calmed down in the last, I would say, 2 months. But we've also got to remember they still do have some dangerous players. Most of those goals obviously was gotten under obviously with Nathan Lowe in charge. Sadler's Sadler or Sadler's Sadlers. Make any sense? Matt Sadler, who was the manager of Walsall, has been going through a bit of a rocky patch as of late. Grimsby have conceded 50 goals this term. Walsall have only conceded 38. Only 12 more Grimsby have conceded than Walsall. I probably thought that was going to be a little bit worse, actually. But it's interesting because obviously, even though they don't have Nathan Lowe anymore, they've still got obviously former Mariner in Jamil Matt. They've still got Jamie Jellis. They've still got a few Taylor Allen. They've still got a few dangerous players that could that we have to be aware of. They've still got some threats all over the pitch. The Saddlers aren't top for nothing, but hopefully the Mariners are looking to, shall we say, sink the Saddlers for the first time in a while. The passing accuracy between the two sides, Grimsby actually have a better passing accuracy, which I think that's a good stat to know. 69.7% of the time Grimsby find where they're supposed to go. This is an interesting stat. Points gained from a losing position. It's not as big of a gap as I thought. Walsall have gained 12 points from losing positions. Grimsby have started to pick points up when going behind. 9 points for us. But dropping points from a winning position, this could give us a bit of hope. We've dropped 8 points from a winning position. Walsall have dropped double the amount of points to us in 16. So, that may give us some hope if we go through some of the previous form between the two sides. Walsall have had one defeat in their last 5 games. That came with a 1-0 win at home to in Holloway, Swindon Town. In the mix of all that, they've had a 1-1 draw with Carlisle. They drew 2-2 somehow against Cheltenham. A 2-0 win over Morecambe and a 3-1 win at home to Chesterfield. While the Mariners have had a fantastic month with 3 wins out of the last 5. A draw on Tuesday night against Tranmere. A 1-1 draw last weekend at Cheltenham. A 2-1 win against Fleetwood. A 2-1 win at Doncaster Rovers. And a 2-1 win at home to Carlisle. Congratulations on David Artell's Manager of the Month nomination, which I just wanted to give David some recognition for that. Unfortunately, he didn't get the Manager of the Month award. That ended up going, obviously, to Graham Alexander of Bradford. And surprised me, I guess, with 4 wins from 4, and it wasn't enough to get it. But it's good to see that David has did get nominated again. Proves obviously he's doing something right, and it's good to see. Like I said, Matt Sadler's Walsall's had a good season, but one thing they are lacking is probably the bite they had when Nathan Lowe was there on loan from West Brom. He went back to West Brom. Sorry, not West Brom. Was it West Brom? Yes. No, it wasn't. It was Stoke. I apologise. I got that wrong. It was Stoke City. They haven't really, I would say, replaced his goal threats. So even though they have got the threats, their main threat isn't there. But Walsall, the last couple of times Grimsby have played Walsall, we haven't had the nicest of times against the Saddlers. So they'll be hoping to get another one in on us. Speaking of previous meetings between the two sides, it's in the last 19 matches between the two. The Mariners have won 5. There's been 5 draws and 9 wins for Walsall. And like we say, we try and forget the last couple of results, we go back to the 26th of August of 2023. It was the last time we picked anything up against Walsall, which was a 1-1 draw at the Bescot. And yeah, we don't like talking about these last two results against Walsall, really. Obviously, the 6-1 battering somehow, or collapse in the last 50 minutes or so. Last January, last New Year's Day, not January 25, but New Year's Day of 2024. What an embarrassment that was! And then obviously last time out when we played Walsall back in October at Blundell Park, Walsall won with a plum again, a 4-1 win at Blundell Park. For some reason they like playing at Blundell Park. I have to give Jamie Jealous a shout out for his goal against us in that game, but can I just say it was from our pass. So, but still a good finish, and obviously the Walsall will feel buoyed about this one. Obviously, believing that they can, they can get their promotion winning form back on track. I've got a few stats here for the game, mixing the two. This one is for Walsall. Walsall have won each of their last 2 league games against Grimsby, as I've mentioned. Last winning more in succession against the Mariners between 1975 and 1977. But us, the Mariners, have won just 3 of their 34 away league games against Walsall since their first meeting in 1892. That's drawing 6 and losing 25. Though 2 of those wins have come across their last 4 visits to the Bescot, and I think I was at 3 of them. After losing their last home game against Swindon, Walsall will be looking to avoid losing successive matches at the Bescot since a run of 3 in February of 2022. And the Mariners, a good stat for us, the Mariners are unbeaten in their last 7 league games, winning 4 and drawing 3. Last having a longer run in the Football League in March and April of 2021, when the Mariners were unbeaten for 8 games. So, if you think of most of the stats, really, they really go actually in Walsall's favour. But I think that we are starting to find a resilience, which I think the last couple of times we've played Walsall, we haven't had that. I think once they've scored, we've kind of we kind of caved in against them, really. I mean, obviously the main man will be Danny Rose, of course, the main man up front. There's no doubt he'll probably be up front again. Now, whether he'll start Justin Abiku makes me wonder. Justin did play 45 minutes. I'm just wondering whether we should play somebody possibly like Luca Barrington. Hear me out. That's the reason why I would go Luca and not Justin initially. That is to do with can you imagine bringing Justin on with about 25 minutes to go? If we can get their back line and their defence moving a little bit, because one of our strengths is keeping the ball, but one of Walsall's strengths is doing it without the ball. So it's basically going to be who's going to be the most effective. What we have known the last couple of times we've played Walsall is we've had the ball and actually probably been the better side for most of the matches. But they've been so quick on the break. I think, if we have to be a little bit direct in this one, be a little bit direct. If you're going to do that, then I would start with Justin Abiku, because definitely what Justin is able to do, he can hold the ball up really, really well for Danny Rose and that. But again, we need Danny Rose to be at his smart best, I would say. Because if he can get us, he's good at getting us free kicks when we need them, whether it be breaking up a team's attack or getting us up the field. Danny, again, very, very smart at doing that. I don't think there'll be many changes. Obviously, there'll be the change for Doug Tharm because so we'll have to see what goes in there, because I'm sure Arteta will want to play a back three again. That's been quite successful lately. I've got think Evan Curry will come back in for this game, definitely, because I do think on Tuesday night we did miss his energy. And probably Kieran Green will come back in as well. That'll probably be the midfield central pair, Kieran Green and Evan Curry. And I think it will be obviously Wright in goal, I'd imagine. And obviously we'll have Van Thorsen one side, Hume more or less coming the other side, playing as a winger but also a wing back at the same time. With Rose and Abiku. I think Abiku will start. I just think Abiku might be better set with about half hour to go at the moment. But then again, you want to cause Walsall as big of a problem as you can. It is going to be big for us to stay tight defensively. We don't want to be having this game get away from us like the last two meetings between the two sides have. It's going to be a tight one. Like I said, they've got some more dangerous players. One being obviously Danny Johnson as well. Although he hasn't been playing much lately, but he only came on for 2 minutes in their draw with Carlisle, which seems a bit strange. Having a striker who has got a decent strike rate at this level, but so like I said, they've got other threats, but so have we. I think Van Thorsen can make things tricky for Walsall. Obviously, Danny Rose can. Abiku, if you get the good game out of him. Kieran Green, he will be gritty, he will be bitty, he will be difficult, and that's what we want to make it for Walsall. There might be leaders, but why should we fear them? Why should we fear going to the Bescot? Because at the end of the day, it's all about, putting the pressure on Walsall. All the pressure's on Walsall, really. I think the only pressure that's on us is the pressure we put on ourselves. At the end of the day, they're chasing automatic promotion, Walsall, but Bradford are creeping up behind them. So they're going to want to stamp their authority on us early. What we have to do is stop that and make it difficult. Make the crowd edgy. That's what we've got to do in this game. And with the 700, 800 odd fans that are going to go over there, and it is a long trip for an early kickoff, I must admit. But if we can make it awkward for Walsall, they've shown in previous games in the last seven or eight, they can be got at. And I think we've got players that could make it difficult for Walsall. Like I said, like the likes of Danny Rose, like Evan Corey, like Svan Dawson, like Denver Hume. Hopefully Denver's crossing is far better than it was in midweek. But really, we do have some threats for Walsall to attend with. or contend with, I should say. So this is going to be a difficult one to predict, though, because I'm now going to go on to my prediction for the game. And I think we need to try and get something against Walsall. I think it's, like I said, the next two games are really, really crucial for Grimsby, for the playoff run, really. Would I take a point at Walsall? Yes, but I'm going to be ultra positive here. I really am. I'm actually going to go for a Mariners win. That might sound crazy, considering, like I said, the last couple of times that we've played Walsall, they've absolutely battered us like a piece of haddock. But I think if we can make it difficult for them in the first 20 minutes, and make it start to be edgy for them, then who knows? I'm going to go for a 3-2 win for the Mariners over Walsall. I think why not aim big? You know, I've said after these next two, I'll make my whether they're playoff contenders or not. But I think these next two games and this game will sort of prove kind of where we are. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win, but I say don't lose the game. As long as you don't lose the game, only Walsall are dropping points then, really. Before we play home on the Tuesday night. So, but I'm going to be ultra positive here. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win for the Mariners over Walsall. But we have to obviously be aware of the threats Walsall do have. And knowing how poor we are at keeping clean sheets, that's why I've gone for a 3-2. I can see us scoring, I just can't see us keeping Walsall out. I'd love to be proven wrong. So I'm saying 3-2. If we do win, at least for a couple of hours at least, we would be in the playoff places. Now I'm not, I'm not counting the chickens because this is going to be a very difficult game. But I'm just stating as it is. But at the same time, I don't think Town's got any real pressure on this. So I'm saying 3-2. Let me know down below what you think. I know this video's a lot later than I wanted to do it. Boy, have I had a busy week. So let me know down below what you think. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are travelling over to the West Midlands, to Walsall, safe journey to all the ones. I will not be there this time around, but I will be watching it on TV. It is on Sky Sports Plus if you can't make the game on Saturday. But in the meantime, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave the comments down below. What do you think will happen, and who do you think you'll bring in to replace Doug Tharm by the looks of it? So leave your comment down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll be back with a review after the game. In the meantime, guys, up the Mariners. And the next two are the big two. Can the Mariners put themselves in a position where playoffs are possible? We'll find out by the end of Tuesday. In the meantime, I'll see you soon. And up the Mariners. And let's just try not to get battered this time. I don't want to be a battered haddock again. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.